Sure. This is the upstairs of Lair. I know I didn't know a lot about this map, so I kind of had to study up. So that's why I decided to do this one, because I was kind of curious of the strats. The same reason why I did Fortress. I think if we are able to figure out this map in Fortress, a lot of other people don't know it, which means it's stacked in our advantage if we do get this map and we know how to play it. So first thing, you'll have a Cade. Hopefully first round you'll have a Cade, because most of the time it gets banned. They can use this slug shotgun to make holes here, and then they can go prone early round, and actually there's a guy there, but basically do that. Anyone that walks in through rocket or lower main stairs, you just shoot him with your shotgun. Kind of pry him, kind of help the player that's playing top of the stairs, because someone will be doing that, so you can watch that, you can comms for that. You can use your Cade claws for this wall. I would only use them for this wall. This is double reinforced. I wouldn't worry about it too much, because you will be stalling for time on this side, and you will not be stalling for time on this side. So I'd use one Cade claw and just pocket the other, and if they do something to like EMP it or get it off, I would throw a second Cade claw there, just to stall for a little bit more time. Maybe you juggle them, maybe you Cade trick a little bit. You make high head holes here. I already fucked up my C4, but you can just run forward and throw it, and if you move forward as you throw it, it will land like all the way over here. You can get it to stop anyone that does plant on this side, or if you just face it more this direction, you can land it right here to stop anyone planting. So C4 is really good for that. You have a rotate here. I didn't know this, but the reason why you get the rotate there is because if you go this way, you're going into a really deep angle if they take control of operations. Like, you have to kind of just walk into their bullets right here. But if you have that rotate, then obviously they still have that angle on you, but you can walk across instead of walking into the angle. You just kind of walk across the angle, like right there. It's like, see how fast I can cross that? Like, if you're sprinting, it's even faster. You can just hit that really quick, then you can play off of this. Maybe you do something like this. You can actually play off your cover. But keep this wall soft, because this is like your best way of stopping a plant going down from over here. So Cade here is the best. Again, you can get these high head holes. We'll talk about that later. You can do all these, and then your foot holes here. That's kind of what you're in charge of. Get these 4 walls maybe, but you will have a operations player. Azami is by far the best player here. Reason being is because they have the highest chance of making it out of this position alive, and the reason for that is because you can throw your Kiba barrier to plug this up and throw your Kiba barrier to plug that up, and then just kind of walk back. So that is like why Azami is by far the best person to play here. If you don't have an Azami, maybe just take the DMR, because like holding an angle like this is really good, and you can kind of contest the windows and dance around a little bit. So Aruni's a good option here. You could even double reinforce this. Use your last reinforcement here and set a clash in this area, but they do kind of just get to walk and take control of operations for free. But you can stall a lot of time with the clash here. So if Mira is up, I guess I should say, if Mira is up, you will have this wall kind of soft. You'll still get this rotate, but put the Mira on the far left on the soft wall, then tuck the rotate in on the right. And then obviously you play off of the mirror on the soft wall really strong, and then your other one, pretty easy to assume, will go on this wall, because obviously being able to see through this and play off of this is incredibly strong. If you do have a mirror, I would maybe drop like Legion or something, because we're probably gonna have a Legion up here for a 1-eye, so you can throw discs out so they don't just like ash charge this. So I would maybe get a 1-eye for that reason. Just makes it you play. You might have to just play to die here, but having the mirror's presence makes it incredibly hard for them to walk in, so you could take the mirror for that. And even if they do walk in and take control of that, well, then you just have the second mirror that's watching pretty much the exact same thing. So mirror is really good. Mirror's probably going to get banned, so I don't think it's worth really planning on that, but that's something you can do. So I guess a zombie here, so you can kind of just throw your Kiba barriers, block stuff off. You can maybe get aggressive play actually in this area, but the most important thing with your Kiba barrier is just keep it that, and then get this wall as well, and then that is how you fall off, and you just fall off. So you have your Cade sight here, then you have an Azami over here, and then this, I just found out you double reinforce and not make footholes. Because the reason is if you have a smoke shotgun here, anyone jumping in these windows just gets funneled straight to the doorway, and obviously you have smoke shotgun. So you just hold them here with smoke shotgun, and they just walk in, you pump them. Maybe they're sitting for a while, you kind of just start smoking them out. So that is really good to do. But smoking this area, you put your barbed wire. I'll show you the barbed wire placements. I would put one at your 90, right before your 90. This way they can't just melee from the bottom for free. They have to walk up. They'll still probably get it for free, but it'll give you a little alert. And then just double up. Get your next one at the top of the stairs. This one they actually have to go out from cover to melee, and that is when you fry them with your shotgun. So just kind of double it up. The first one you can't really play off of. That is just more like to prepare you, maybe to rotate over because of this barbed wire. And the second one you actually are playing off of, and then you just shotgun anyone that is walking up, or you could smoke. So that is what I do to hold here. Just take the smoke for that. Anyone walking up your stairs, again, you have the cage, you have these angles, so you can help with that. Even this person, if they're not really contesting this, can just back up and hold the bottom, so that person gets stuck there. So you got a lot of options for contesting that. Again, you're not playing to die here, you're playing to just peel off, back up. Same with that person. Ideally, they might have to play to die because of like how difficult it is. If they do walk in, they just have a lane all the way down the hallway. So they might have to play to die, but if you have something like Mazami, then you should be playing to fall off. Your third person, I think Legion is going to be the best person here because you are playing on 3 windows. So the 2 in here, then the 1 on the ping, and you can just load your goo mines up on these windows. They make a very loud audio sound for wherever they jump in. You'll know that they jump in, you can play off of them, you can contest it. If you have the Legion and the smoke in this hallway, and your Legion playing in here, which will also be into this area right here, then no one is going to want to push aside. No one's going to fuck with the Legion traps on the window into a smoke with the canisters and a shotgun. No one's going to do that. That is suicide. But they are also in charge of coming in here. They get these high head holes into the site over here. If you have these head holes to play off of, then it pretty much means that they're only safe places to plant for them to play off of breach is across the way over here. This is default plant. Again, your Cade C4, you can just toss it up and over and it should land right over here. You got to make sure that you're walking forward when you throw your C4, or else it probably will not reach past this lip and they can get the plant off. If you have the Azami and they're going for a plant, you can try and plug up the breach and then swing. If they get open and they walk across and then you plug up the breach with your Azamis, this person is completely trapped. For at least a little bit until maybe someone else gets this open, and then you and your Cade can work this guy. They won't be able to get the plant down or whatever, so that's how you deal with that. Your smoke can rotate through the hall over here and get the smoke canisters out here. Dude, that's another thing. Your smoke can come this way with your smokes and just throw them right there to smoke that guy, or maybe it's not safe to go through this hallway, so you wrap around, you go up here and you throw your smokes from here deep to get the guy out from behind the wall. So your smoke is really strong for that. You pair it with the C4, no one should be able to get a default plan. So you have your Cade, Azami, Smoke, Legion. Your 5th player is playing over here. I would take Tube to either just like help contest the wall, or I think probably Goyo is the better option, just to have all like the canisters. You could put one right here and you can kind of just play off of that for anyone trying to push it here. You stop the time that way. You can put one like on the ground over here or something, so you can back up and then shoot it and no one rushes through your hall while you reinforce this off, because again, you're playing to lair back and reinforce it. You put one over here somewhere if you wanted, in this area, because you can put it like right here. I wouldn't put it right next to this because they just shoot that, it blows up everything, and like it's just a waste because this is already here. And just tag that to pop it. So maybe you get one right here so no one just walks on you in your hallway. Maybe you get one a little deeper, I don't know, but one here, one on this, and then just like one in this hallway. And then maybe if you have time, you just put your last and default plant over here. You like put on the doorway over here. Really whatever you want to do with that last one, just those 3 are the big ones. Just off the time actually give you a chance of like backing up by yourself and reinforcing this off. if it's like people actually start pushing over here heavily, most of the time what they do is they will just try and take control of the sky bridge area just to make sure that no one wraps around and contests breach. They'll just be holding this, making sure no one comes this way. Most of the time, maybe late round, they try and backstab, they do a little lurk, they try and go over this way, and that's what you're here for, is just ensuring that no one just walks into the side from free over here. If it gets like a minute and a half in the round and nothing's happening on this map, just pop like this Goyo and the Goyo you have right here, save this last one, but then reinforce this one, and then they'll funnel them to the hall, and then you will have your last one if they are funneled to the hall. So kind of just play that. I feel like most of the time they're going to do an operations and a breach take, so everything will be front-sided over here, and you might just not even see someone this whole round. In that case, like a minute and a half in, you're like, yeah, nothing's happening, reinforce it off. I guess make sure you shoot your Goyos, those two Goyos first, just in case, and then reinforce it off, and then you have this Goyo right here to play off of. So that is your 5 operators that I would take here. Again, you could have your Rooney or your Clash where the zombie is. You could have like any trap op instead of Legion. I don't know why Legion would be getting banned. That kind of trolling smoke is kind of a niche ban, but just take another shotgun. A Warden is really good in this area just so they don't just send a bunch of util at you, like trying to smoke it off and cross. So Warden, I guess, would be your backup to the smoke here. Backup to your Cade. Well, pretty obvious. You're probably gonna have to play Bandit. You can't get the full rotate. You could still get head holes and like this in the wall. You could still make the foot holes here with the Carados. It's just gonna be a lot longer setup. And your smoke or something might have to make the head holes over here for you. So obviously Cade's the best option, but like you take what wall denial you can get. If you are Bandit, I think it's worth sitting wall and just trying to trick the wall. To get it open, it's whatever, you just back up. But if you can't contest it, then great. I guess the one thing to be careful of is this wall being reinforced. What it allows, if breach is open, this person can still stall for time on this side. But if they have control of operations and they have this breach open and you are working the people in operations for like post-plant situation, doing a little retake, this is reinforced off, so you can't like fight from over here. You are going to be funneled to the door. So that is like the big weakness of this side, is having this double reinforced. But the trade-off of this person being able to stall for a lot more time if breach gets open is why you would do this, from what I can tell, or it's what I imagine is the reason. Yes, one thing is, yeah, you can get a sprinting vault if you do something like that. I don't think you can get it from the other side, so it's kind of just a one-way rotate. But let's say your Bandit, they're pushing over here, your Bandit needs to rotate, they're cutting off your line of sight, and you're stuck here. Your way out would be a vaulted rotate like that. So your Bandit can most definitely back up here, and then from there, you're free to go around. That might catch this guy off guard a little bit. Just something to keep in mind. If you pull this off, then you kind of the GOAT. Low key, that is some niche ball knowledge, and if it's like in a case that you can use it though, you have the option. So just know that this is here, and that you can use it. So just be ready for that. But that is what I would do for the upstairs. Again, just peel off, your main stairs peels off. I guess this area should kind of be contested the whole match. Maybe they do this side of the take and you kind of just peel off this way. But like you can't really reinforce it off, so you're just gonna have to be ready for that. I think Legion down the windows and smokes is more than enough to scare like pretty much anyone from pushing this side. So they should have a pretty easy job. I think Legion will have the easiest job here. You just sit, you just bounce your goo mines off up and over the top, kind of come over here, throw them on the window there, throw them on the window there. You're kind of chilling. Maybe you jump in here and you can contest breach a little bit. So that is a option for that. But that is pretty much everything you could do up here. Again, if like a Goyo gets banned for whatever reason, you could take 2 as a backup just to help keep the wall closed. I don't know why Goyo would ever be getting banned though, but that's your options and what I would do here.